Hello everyone! I just wanted to jump on real quick and make a video on how I use Trello to plan my homeschool. It's kind of amazing and I'm a little bit obsessed. So I'm really excited to share um, just what I have found to be really helpful, and I hope it helps anyone who is interested. And hopefully this all makes sense because I know it can kind of seem overwhelming at first, but it's actually really easy and intuitive. So, okay, I thought I would just kind of start with like the way I use my board, my main board. And then at the very end, I will make like a sample board of like just showing you how I would upload cards or pictures, do a checklist, like maybe just like those basics if anyone needs like more guidance. So, okay. So really quickly, Trello is organized. You can make these lists. Every column here is a list. So you can see like I'm moving this one and you can move them around. So these are all lists. And then everything you see here, like every little square, is called a card. So everything I plan is a card. Everything, like I've built this like kind of from nothing. That's kind of what I love about Trello, is that you can make it exactly what you want. But that's kind of what can be overwhelming about it, but it's so fun. So yeah, so each, like I said, each one of these is a card. Everything in my plan is a card. And so again, I'll kind of go over that later more. But okay, so my first list is my completed column. And so during the week, as I do my plans, I will just drag and drop them into the right day. So my next list is the lessons. So this is where I have my whole week planned out, just in one column. So you can see here that at the top I have lessons, and then I have Monday, and then I've got my morning time. I've color coded it so it's like, morning time is pink, red is language arts, orange is math, and then yellow is I'm doing Torchlight K, kindergarten. So I've got all my Torchlight things that I want to do for that day, and then green is science, and then purple is art. And then you can see here I've got Tuesday, morning time, kind of the same rhythm every day. And then I just have that all the way down to Friday. And then I do have the weekend just if we want to watch a movie or something, if we don't get to something that I really want to. So yeah, so okay, let me kind of go in a little bit more of what I really love about Trello. So, okay, so for example, I have my morning time card, and I'll kind of show you what's inside of it. So I've got it planned here where you can see it, but when I click on it, I have so much information in here, and it's so helpful. I don't have to have any of my curriculum out because I can put in information into the card. So for example, this is my morning time card, and here is my checklist of what I want to do. So that's like the first thing that I'll say. Like we do calendar, song, and then as we go, I can check it off in the morning. And you can do this with like your iPad or your iPhone. I think it's on other phones as well, but so that way, like, you don't have to have your computer even with you. And then I just love the percentages. Like, is that not just so satisfying? Like, as you go through your day, you're just filling it up. It's very exciting. Um, so nerdy. So yeah, the way I do it is I have morning time and then like our read alouds for the day that I kind of want to do, and we do that in the morning. Now the cool thing is too is that I can attach PDFs or links to websites or YouTube. So for example, I'm doing this poem, and so I attach the PDF here so that way when I open it, I can see the poem right here. So I usually use my iPad in the morning, and then I can show my kids the poem so that they can read it or look at it, or that I can look at it and remember it. And so, like I said, I don't have to have like any curriculum or printouts. It's all like right here. So fun. And then also I'm doing these Squilt bird songs. We're doing birds this week, if it wasn't obvious. But I found this Squilt birds, like songs that were inspired by birds. So I put two of them here, two links to the YouTube, so you can see it just like pulls YouTube right up and we'll play it. And then I also just wrote some information from the website here so I could read that. And so again, I will show later how to like actually input that. But it's so easy and it's just like so helpful. So, okay, so that was kind of a lot. Let's see if there's anything else I can say. Yeah, so I do like to do the covers of some of my books just because I feel like it makes me so excited and feel like inspired for the week. So I only do covers for the books that I do from Torchlight. I don't do like all of the books that we read. That would just be crazy. But I do it for Torchlight and then maybe like read alouds, like I have Harry Potter down here. And then I also will do pictures for some other things because for me, I'm so visual. So like for me to see that like, oh, on Monday we're gonna do this how to draw a blue jay video. That helps me so much. I don't know why, just to see it and then I'll do it. And it's so easy because like I said before, I made this card to be the how to draw a blue jay. And then when I click on it, I've got the link right here and it will take me right to the video.
There you go.
So I can just set up my iPad, my son can watch that video and draw a blue jay. It's so easy. And all I do to make these pictures is just I did a screenshot for this one, and then for this one I just go to like Amazon and like right click and save image as, and then, or you could do a screenshot too. And then you can upload that to your card. So yeah, I do all my Torchlight. It's so helpful because if you do Torchlight, you know, you have a lot of videos. So I made a playlist and I've got that linked for all the videos. Yeah, and the color coding really helps me just to kind of see that we've got like a well-balanced day. We've got science, Torchlight, art, kind of everything. So, and I also like putting in like the lesson for Right Start for the math that we're using, like kind of just to know what's ahead a little bit. And then yeah, like it's also really helpful, especially for Torchlight, but I could see it for any curriculum being helpful, is like, so for example, the Song of the Wild book. You know, if I was to write it in like a paper planner, I would just write this page 106 and I would just be like, trust that, you know, that's what I'm supposed to read. But in Trello, what I do is I actually like write what the poem is called. So it's the tool using animals. So that just helps me when I'm planning to even just put the like things together. So if it's the same animals in different Torchlight things, then I can just put them together, if that makes sense. It just kind of helps me be more prepared. And so yeah, I put in videos through the week. I've got a birds video link right here. I've got another, my son is really obsessed with these Art for Kids Hub videos. So yeah, I'll kind of go down quickly. You can just see I've got videos, I've got some projects. I really like doing it this way. I have Pinterest and I like Pinterest, but I feel like it just gets lost, you know, when you just save it and then it just stays in Pinterest. So what I do then is I go on Pinterest, find the projects I like, and then I have the link right here, you know, with the picture, so it kind of helps me visually, but I've got the link right here that I can go to the instructions for how to do that project. So it's just so like elegant and concise, like it just helps me so much to actually do it and stay organized. So yeah, I think, yeah, like again, it just helps me to see like, oh yeah, I'm doing clay nests. I got to make sure I have everything ahead of time. So I think that's all I'll show with this week. So yeah, like I said before, when I finish morning time, I will move that over to Monday. And just anything I finish, I will just move over. And I might be like, oh, I'm going to do the videos first, then I'll just put that there. Like it's so flexible to move things around that's like just what I love so much, that you don't feel like limited to what your plan is. I love planning, but I just hate having things fixed. I like being able to kind of fly by the seat of my pants a little bit more. Or like maybe that Monday is beautiful and we're going to be outside all day. So then if that happens, then I'll be like, okay, well then we'll read Vincent Can't Sleep Tuesday, and I'll just drag it right to Tuesday. It's so easy in that way. So, okay, so that was my lessons list. Then the next list I have is read alouds. So I just put books here. There's not very many. I just keep the books that I don't really plan for like one day. Um, I just do them here. It could be like a longer book. And then what's cool for this one is I did do like the chapters just so I kind of know where I am in the book, because for Torchlight you read like chapters 1 through 8 one week and then 9 through 15 the next week. So that kind of helped me just to kind of keep track of where we were. Yeah, and then, but I also will put like picture books that I'm just like, that maybe are an extension of Torchlight or maybe just something else I want to get to. But I don't really want to plan a day for it. I can just put it here. And then, like I said, just if I do it, I'll drag and drop it. If I finish the book, I'll drag it over here just to show that I did it. Yeah, and then I have like our nightly read aloud that we're just kind of going through. So yeah, so I've got my completed lessons, read alouds. Now here I changed this. This is kind of like my unit study list. So for this week, like I said, or for the next 2 weeks, we're doing birds. So I have another board for all my unit studies. I'll show you really quickly. Or actually, let me do it here. So I've got a unit studies board. I don't have very many yet, but as I go, I just put them in here. And I do keep the, like, this is like the original, and then what I do is I make a copy of it, copy of the list, and put it in my board. That way I have it, you know, and I'm not changing anything or moving things around. So anyway, so I keep the birds list here for however long I need to use it. And this is so fun. It's just like a buffet of fun projects and ideas that I will keep. And some things I will plan, but some things I just like to just have here, so that way if we get to it, or maybe my son is like really into nests in particular, so like then we'll do more nest things, or maybe he wants to do more art. It's just kind of, like I said, like a buffet of like whatever we feel like. Not a plan, but it's like inspiration. Also, what I love is I've done this extension card, and on here, oh, excuse me, on here I've done, actually my friend did this, she's awesome, but she did this where she added like every show that would be like an educational show for birds. So yeah, lots of fun ones. And so I have that up here, so that way, you know, if we were like, oh, let's watch a show, I can kind of check and see if any of those sound interesting to my kids. So I will say really quickly that you can see here, like this TP is me, and then this is my friend. We actually, this is my board, but like I've invited her to my board and I'm invited to her board. So we can also like see what each other is doing. And that's been so fun, because I will be like, oh, that's such a good idea, I'm gonna do that. And I can make a copy of whatever card and paste it to my board. So that's what I did here. And so just a tidbit, if you have like 2 geeky Trello friends, you can share the Trello love together. If you're as lucky as I am to have a Trello best friend. But anyway, so yeah, I've got all my bird unit studies here. Last week I had Easter. So I had like different Easter crafts or projects or videos or things like that. I just moved that back over. And I also have a board for holiday ideas. So here was my Easter one, and I had like all my Easter science and projects and crafts. And I just will keep the original here, like I said, with the unit studies, and then just copy it into my main board here. Okay, so let's keep going. So here I've got my curriculum checklists. So this is something I did in my paper planner and I just really liked it. For my main curriculum, which is Logic of English, Right Start Math, and Torchlight Kindergarten, I've created a checklist. And it just helps me to see like where we are in the curriculum. Just like when I'm planning in Trello, then I'll be like, okay, I know I'm on lesson 69 for Monday. And then I have a review coming up, that kind of thing. It really helps. So, and then again, that percentage is so satisfying. There's nothing like just like making that little click, right? So, yeah, you can see here, like these are all the lessons we've completed, and that's like what we have left. So, and I do it where I show or hide the checked items so I can just see what we have next. And it is helpful just to know like, okay, I've got 69% completed. That's just like kind of helps me to know where we are. And so then I've got the same for math. I did enter in like the lessons for math just because, like I said, Right Start hops around a lot and is spiral based. So I thought that would be kind of nice to know, like, we're doing subtraction for this week. Like we're going to be doing even and odd numbers, just to kind of know if we want to do like any other games or, I don't know, videos. It just is kind of fun to know. So, okay, and then I've got Torchlight Kindergarten. I've got all the weeks and the countries. And again, you can see like how much we have left. We're a little behind. We kind of took a break for a while, but anyway, so yeah, so that is very helpful, just like I said, to know where we are and how much we have left. Okay, the next list I have is the completed reading shelf. Here is where I put all the books that we have completed for Torchlight Kindergarten, or like if they're chapter books. Like I said, I don't put we read a lot of books. I don't put every book in here, but just basically like all of the Torchlight books that we read. And again, it's just so fun to see the pictures. It makes me so happy. And it like really gets you in the mood, especially Torchlight. It's like is a different country every week if you didn't know. And so like we have like when I was doing Japan, just to see all the beautiful Japan books made me so happy. So yeah, I've got all the books that we've read for Torchlight, and so what I would do is move a book to my completed section, and then what I would do is make a copy, and then you can move it to the completed reading shelf. So I can kind of show that again later, but yeah, it's just kind of fun to keep a log of what we've read. Here I have nature study. I've entered the Exploring for Nature with Children weeks, and you can see here like I've just copy and pasted that week into the description. So that's like really nice. Again, I don't have to like pull up a different file. I don't have to print anything at all. I just have it all like organized and all in here. So I'm not really I haven't really been using it, but if I were to do grasses this week, then I would just drag the whole week over to my week. And then I would kind of then have, that right there, what I needed. Okay. Then this column or this list, I have got my future planning. I just wrote out the weeks, and then because some of the countries I wanted to rearrange for Torchlight, and then because they have butterflies and I want to, raise the caterpillars and do the butterflies in May. So I just kind of blocked out the next 4 or 5 weeks. Okay, over here I've got my template for my lessons and my completed. So this is really helpful because basically what I do is every week I'll just make a new one. So then I copy the list, and then I'll just change the dates to this week or whatever. And that way I still have like my template, but I can just then go in and change the date. So it makes it really easy. Same with completed. I'll just make a template, and then once I have the template, I'll drag it over here. So that way I have like a fresh week, if that makes sense. Just at the end of my board, I've got some like first grade ideas. My son is in kindergarten now, but just kind of what I want to do for first grade. So it makes me just really happy to see pictures. And then I've got my preschool child over here. So yeah, I know that's like a lot, but it's so fun. And I hope that if you are interested that you give it a try because it's seriously so much fun. Um, okay, I will share really quickly. So I was saying, I can copy and paste those templates. So then what I would do is like once this week is filled up, the completed list will get filled with everything over here, ideally. And it will be all filled up with everything we did. And then I'll add anything. Like say we played some swamp. I can add that in here and be like, we played that game and that is math. And we did that Friday. So it's also a good way to plan from behind because you can just add things in. And it's just so cool to be like, to look through your week at the end of the week, like, wow, we had a great week. So once I am done with like the completed list, then what I'll do is go up here and move that list. I have a board for completed weeks. So I would move the list and go to my, where is it? Completed weeks kindergarten 2019-2020. And that is where I keep all the weeks that I have completed. So I'll show you really quickly what that board looks like. So this is just all those columns that I showed you, but the ones that were filled out. So this is the one we just did last week. You can see all the books we read. We did some, Easter experiments, Easter art. We were learning about Ecuador and Galapagos Islands. And like I said, it's just like so fun to look at your week in pictures and kind of be like, wow, we had a great week. Even if it wasn't like what you planned, like I said, we added in all these games and videos that we found. So, even if you don't plan it, you still get to put it in. And then I do keep a journal card here. Sometimes I'm better at it, sometimes I'm not, but probably my first week I did it. Let me see. Yeah, okay. So like in the journal, you can like attach pictures. So I did a few pictures like from the week. This was India. So that's also just a really cool way to journal and, like you could write about your week right here and have some pictures for kind of the work that you've done. So like I said, I'm not always good with that, but some weeks I am. So yeah, those are all my completed weeks. And this is just where I keep it. And you can print them later if you need to, but my state does not require that. So I just keep it here for reference and just to know, for the future, I guess, what we did. Yeah, and then really quick, I will show that I have a Torchlight K board too. So over here, I've got my Torchlight K board, and this is every column is a different week. So I'm a nerd, and I've entered in the rest of the year, the rest of the weeks. And and that way it's in here, and I don't need to even look at my curriculum at all. I don't have to print it, I don't have to look at the PDF. What I'll do is just move the list or copy the list and then move it to my main board. And then I can kind of drag and drop every Torchlight assignment or everything that we were going to do for that week. So yeah. Oh, and really quick, if you're using Torchlight, what I love is like adding these checklists. So like for the extensions, it's amazing. I can enter the stories, the music, the videos, the books, like for all the extensions. And it's just like really helpful to have it organized that way. So yeah, so I've got Torchlight. I already talked about, I've got a unit studies board, holiday ideas. I've started adding in like Torchlight Pre-K I'm going to do with my son, my 3-year-old next year. So I've entered in some of those weeks. So that way I can just kind of move that right in. I've started entering in what I'm going to do next year, like Torchlight 1. I've got a few weeks kind of just put in. That way I can just enter it when I'm ready. Now I want to show you how to just do like the basics of making a board, making a list, making a card, attachments, checklists, all that kind of thing. Okay, so I just thought I would go home to Trello, and here you can see like all my boards that I have. These are the starred ones that I use the most, and then I've got some down here too. Okay, so I'm going to go into this plus up here, create a board, and then you can name it whatever you want. Just going to do homeschool. And then from there you can change the background. You can enter your own picture, a color, or you could just do a photo. So you can search for things. They have some cute ones. So yeah, I'll just put that in. Okay, so like I said, I mean, it's blank. You could really do whatever you want. Some people that might be exciting, and some people that might be terrifying. So, okay, you will add a list to start, and just depending on kind of how you want to do it, if you want to do it the same way I did it, you could do completed. Now, this is just like the header, I guess, is what you would call it. You have to enter like another card under it for you to actually enter anything in, if that makes sense. So what I would do is just enter completed and do another card where it says completed, and then that one I can actually go into and add information into that. So I can go into attachment, and here is where I would, if I'm going to add a picture, I'm going to go to computer, and it will bring it up to my desktop, and then I saved the image I made here that says completed. And that will just pop up right here. And then you see, like when I come back to the board, you will see that I have got my completed. I just made another version really quickly, but yeah, so that's basically how I would do it. I made these cards, these images with the different words that you saw on my board in an app called WordSwag. I just do it on my iPhone, and it's really easy. You get like free backgrounds, or you could do your own picture, and then it has different fonts, and you can just type in words over a picture, and you can have them different sizes. Like you can see here, I made my weekdays a lot smaller and narrower so that they don't take up as much room, and then the headers up here are a little bigger. So yeah, I did that in WordSwag, and then just use them as an image. It's very, very easy. Yeah, so I could do that. Then I could add another list if I'm doing it kind of like how my main board is, and then go in and add my lessons. Okay, so then you're kind of getting the picture of like how I can start to build a board. Then from here on, I would go, like Monday, oops, and then I would add the picture for Monday. I don't have that on my computer right now, but I would just kind of go in, do whatever I'm going to do. If you're going to use, I mean, you could just use this. You don't have to use a picture. I just, like I said, it just helps me to be more visual. So you could just, say it's Monday, and then you could just put a color to it, and then just put all your assignments in under that card if you don't want to do a picture. Okay, let me show you some other features that might be helpful. Okay, so let's say you want to add a book or something that you would want to add an attachment to. So I am going to use this book this week, The Feathers Not Just for Flying. So I would make a card with that title, and then I would go into my attachment. Hi, Winnie. And I would save the photo. So I would right click over here and sorry, I would right click over here and save the image to my computer. So just that saves the cover. And that will be like over here. So then when I'm in my card that has the title Feathers Not Just for Flying, then I can go to Attachments, Computer, and then just put that image right in there. And that way I see it right there. And then if I want to add a label, I would come over here and let's say for me, I have science is green, so you could create a new label, write in science, make it whatever color you want that makes sense for you, and then do that. Here in the descriptions, you can also add any information that you want. Like maybe you want to do an activity like paint with feathers or something. So like you could just add any information that you want into the description, and that will be right here. Let's see, we did labels. Okay, checklist. That was kind of, you could see that I had that in some of my cards, especially the morning time. So maybe I'll just make a new card called morning time so you could kind of just see how that would look. And I usually do pink. Okay, so for morning time, what I would do is add a checklist over here. And then you can just call it whatever you want. You can rename it and then just add in what you want. It's that easy. Weather, let's see, read alouds, whatever you want. And then you could just delete it, like say, either if you didn't get to it and you just want to take it out or you make a mistake, you can delete it. You can add multiple checklists at the same time. So what I do is do like my morning time main checklist, and then I do read alouds. So that's like where I would have the feathers book. And in the morning, then I have my whole list of what I want to do first, and then all the read alouds that we're going to do, if that makes sense. So let's see. Okay, did checklists, attachments. So like I said, you can enter pictures by doing computer, or if you want to use any of those. You can also add like a YouTube link or any website link, basically. So like I was telling you over here with my morning time, I've got links to the YouTube and then links to that I uploaded of the PDF I made of this poem. So what you would do is like I said, just go to your computer and just find the file and attach it, or put in a link to a website or a link to YouTube and then attach it. Like I said, so easy, and then it will be right, right over here. Okay, let's see. I do use due dates sometimes, like, cause before we were stuck home all the time, I would also enter in a few things like my son's science class, if it was kind of school related or if it affected our day a lot, I would put a card in showing like, yes, Elliot's science class or my doctor's appointment or something like that. So I would do, to do that, I would do like write that card in. So you could just do science class. And then I would do due date, just make it for whatever you want. Let's see, make it a little bit later. And so that will just show kind of what day that class is. So, I mean, you don't really even need to do that because it's not technically like due, but I just kind of put that in sometimes. But like I said, I'll put that in just the day I need it, if it's Monday or Tuesday, so it's not like you really need it. Okay, so did labels, checklist, due date, attachments, we've done. You can move your whole card, like I could move this to a different list. So if I wanted to move it to the completed, there we go. I just moved it over there. You can also move it to a different board. So if I wanted to move it to my original board, I could do that. And then I can pick the list that I want it to go in. So that's really helpful. Um, yeah, so, and then, yeah, you can make, this is how I made the template. If I wanted to um, copy it and then move it, like I was telling you how I did like my unit studies and my um, holiday units, then I would just copy it. And you can see here it made two, so then I could just, I can either go into the card or it's got this little pencil, you can click that and that's faster. I can just move it to wherever, I can move it to a different board or move it to back over to where I had it. So I think that's everything. I don't really use the power-ups, so I can't really give you much information on that. I know you can do like calendars, print your cards. There's a whole bunch. And the person that I learned Trello from, I know uses them, but I just haven't. So the way I learned Trello was from School Nest is her name on Instagram. So if you want like to see another person's take on Trello, you could look her up, and she's got like an Insta story all about how she uses it. Yeah, and then you could archive it to delete it, and it's gone. So yeah, I think that's everything. I'm sure I'm leaving something out, but if you have any questions at all, please let me know. I know it's kind of complicated until you kind of get going, and then it's very, very intuitive. Um, but yeah, let me know if you have any questions, and then also if you would be interested, I can make a copy of my board and share it with you. Um, if you wanted to just use my headers and my days of the week and just to like maybe go like look through it and kind of maybe once you get your hands on it, it would make more sense, you know? So, so yeah, let me know. Just send me a message on Facebook and I can email you a copy of my board. So I hope that helps, and I hope that you give it a try because it seriously has changed. It's like a game changer for me. I mean, like you saw my completed weeks. I've done 9 straight weeks of like really good planning and like following through, which for me, I'm not very organized. And so it's just like amazing to me that I've been able to be so organized, and all without not having to print curriculum, having every piece of information that I need right in those cards. So yeah, I hope you give it a try, and I hope you love it as much as I do. And yeah, just let me know if you have any questions. All right, bye.